It is okay to be imperfect and make mistakes. I want you to embrace perfection. All right. I want you to accept that it's okay to be imperfect. And I want you to accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes. Right. And I want you to not just accept that. I want you to share your flaws with others. I want you to share with your flaws with other trusted, safe family and friends. Right. That's what I need you to understand. I want you to embrace the imperfection. But give me a second here. Here's what I'm not saying. As we embrace our imperfections, we know that it is okay to be imperfect, right? But what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying that there won't be consequences that come from those choices. Let that sit. A lot of times we want to fail fast. We want to get progress. We want to make feedback. We want to practice courage and think we're not going to do it without mistakes. But then we're going to realize, okay, you know what? I will make mistakes, but everybody's going to understand when I make a mistake, and it will not come with consequences. It will come with consequences, all right? It will come with consequences. You will, hopefully not to an extreme degree, but you will hurt people along the way. You will say the wrong thing. You will mess up. When you're trying this one thing, you will mess it up, and it will come with consequences. So we need to understand and adjust for that also. I'm not saying everybody's going to support you on this journey. And I think we need to understand that we need to embrace imperfection, but at the same time hold space to understand that imperfection will create certain consequences, and we're going to have to learn to deal with those consequences. Let me tell you a story. Think about my guy, Kobe Bean Bryant. If you know anything about me, you know that I love the guy Kobe Bryant. And Kobe, I remember when Kobe was younger, in his, I don't think it was his rookie season, but it was probably very early on in his career. They had made it to the playoffs. So let me break it down for you. Kobe Bryant, basketball player, former basketball player, rest in peace, Kobe, for the LA Lakers. All right. And Kobe was going to be this really good player came straight out of high school and was playing on the Lakers. And they had made it to the playoffs. And while they were in the playoffs, Kobe was a key function in the team to kind of help the team win. Now, Kobe ran into a dilemma. You see, they got to the playoffs and they needed Kobe, and Kobe was shooting towards the end of this one game, which was an important game in the playoffs, and he was just shooting a ton of air balls. He go up, brick. He was just shooting a whole bunch of air balls, right? And I remember this is years later, Kobe had an interview, but it's probably like 18, 19 years later, and they asked him about that game. And they asked him if it was embarrassing to shoot that many air balls. And he said, yes, you can't take away from that. It's embarrassing. You got the whole world looking at you in that moment and you're shooting air balls, right? But here's what happened, right? So there were real consequences to Kobe trying his best and him being imperfect, right? And there were real consequences to it. It wasn't like, oh, guys, well, I shot some air balls, I'll be better next time. No. Like it caused real consequences, real losses in real time, right? But here's what he said. He said that he learned from it. He went back after that season and realized, oh, I've never played this long before. So we're playing into June, and I'm not used to doing that. Coming out of high school, we don't play this long. So I realized I didn't have my legs together. So I had to work out my legs over the offseason, and I didn't have that problem next year. So you see what I'm saying? There are consequences to being imperfect, but what we do with those consequences, what we can learn from those consequences, what we can draw from those things is what's going to help us. The lessons that we can learn from being imperfect, those things are going to help us with that. So you can practice courage without accepting. You can't practice courage without accepting the fact that you won't be perfect.